I swear a lot.
It is 19 past 1 in the PM, and you're watching or listening to The Foreman. I am your host, Foreman, and topic? Nah. I figured I'd just do a little bit of a catch-up, a little bit of a shooting the shit situation. I wanted to kind of talk in general. I also want to talk to you guys about some stuff, and generally keep you up to date with what's going on. And if you're just like, oh man, another day has passed and I haven't listened to Foreman chat shit today, well, here's an opportunity to listen to me chat shit today. First of all, the new fucking upload schedule is going fine-ish. It's alright. Like, I am definitely not pushing myself too hard anymore, which is nice, but I'm desperately trying to strike the balance between taking things a little bit easier on myself and also maintaining a level of like production and general upload schedule that you guys have come to expect, and to be worthy of your time as well. There needs to be frequency, there needs to be video length, and there needs to be quality as well, right? I don't want any of these things to suffer just because I'm trying to make things a little easier on myself. I'm committed to working hard on the channel. My attempts to make things easier on myself are only to ensure its long-term survivability, but I don't necessarily want that to negatively affect your experiences with said content. So something I'm kind of toying around with trying to do is, on the recording days, which I've mentioned previously, on recording days I'm not going to edit anymore. What I will try to do, big asterisks all over this shit, is that I want to do a Foreman Talks on my recording days. I record a Foreman Talks on my recording days and then do the other recordings I'm supposed to do that day. And then at the end of that day, just stitch together a Foreman Talks because it's super fucking easy and I barely have to put any work into it, right? That way, for people who like really just kind of want more stuff, you get more stuff. I can't promise it'll be the best stuff. There is an upper cap to how good Foreman Talks can realistically be. A, because there's no game involved as such, and B, I mean, I'll fucking run out of shit to talk about eventually, right? Like, I can't just infinitely come out with crap, although maybe I can. Maybe I can. It's worth an attempt, certainly. I make no promises on that front. If I don't have anything to talk about and I'm like, I can't sit down and talk into a microphone, I've got nothing to say, I'm not going to do it. Because there's a difference between providing you guys with something to tide you over until the next video and actively wasting your time that you could spend, to put it bluntly, watching someone else. It doesn't always have to be me, you know, and I'm not so conceited as to assume I'm the only content creator in your life. Although, where were you last night? I stayed up and waited, and you didn't come in until 2 a.m. and you smell of cigarettes and wine! But I digress. Point is, it's a plan I'm trying to go ahead with, right? See if I can, make that work a little bit. Consistent uploads are good for the algorithm, I think. None of us truly understand it. But yes, consistent uploads are good. It helps keep people engaged. It helps YouTube push your shit forward. It doesn't have to, each video doesn't have to be the biggest thing that has ever happened. We can chill out a bit every now and then as well. So that's my idea for that. As for me, I've been, in a non-serious fashion, so don't worry that this is moving into some serious territory, because it isn't, but I've been fucking struggling lately, right? I've had a big problem. A really big problem. Those of you who are on my Discord, or those of you who have me on Steam, or what have you, will have noticed that over the past, I honestly want to say like month, it might even have been that long, I have been fairly religiously playing Barotrauma, right? Outside of the recordings I've been doing with my crew on our series, right? This is solo playing on my own, 100%. I discovered, much to my own detriment, a Warhammer 40k mod for Barotrauma, right? Now, I kind of went into it thinking, oh yeah, they'll just like throw in some las guns and maybe some bolters, and like, they'll probably make the diving suits look like Space Marine power armor or something. Maybe some decorative shit. Maybe a new submarine or two. No, that's not it. No, that's not what they've did. What they've done is massively overhaul like almost everything about it, really. So all all the equipment is different, all the weapons are different. None of the original game's weapons are in there anymore. It's all 40k stuff. Stub revolvers, las guns, phosphor weapons, phosphor serpenta being one of my personal favorites, power swords, omniscient axes. You can become a space marine. It's fucking hard, but you can do it. And also the enemies are different now as well. There's still base game enemies in there. Obviously you've got crawlers, mud raptors, molochs, latchers, coalants, mantises, all this crap. But there are new ones, and there are also hybrids, which are fucking terrifying. And possibly the worst thing I've encountered so far, and this is in the loading screen tips, so this one is not a spoiler, husked space marines, who are roughly as dangerous as you would expect them to be in canon, as in they are fast and they hit hard. Like, I remember I was exploring a wreck, an SOS wreck, by myself. I can usually handle it, as long as I've got Clixonide in the fucking med bay, and I've got, like, a heavy stubber on me or something. A heavy stubber fucking deals with the wildlife and with husks. Super, super good. If you can land consistent shots to the head, Mud Raptor goes down in, like, 4 bullets. Now, an armored Mud Raptor or a Mud Raptor hybrid is a different fucking story, but a normal Mud Raptor, no chance. Absolutely clean them out. I remember I was going through that wreck and I heard an ungodly sound that I cannot describe to you other than being some horror from the deep. And I was like, okay, well, there's something new in there. And I opened the door and there's a fucking space marine jittering and scribbling about, clearly being controlled by a husk. And I'm like, oh, and then it fucking rocketed towards me at like 40 miles an hour and proceeded to break all my limbs in like 2 punches, and then I died. And I was like, oh. And then it made its way onto my ship, broke in through the hole, made its way onto my ship, my fucking, like, bridge staff all moved to apprehend it. We're talking 5 crew members here, not equipped with the best guns, because I don't think it's necessary when you're on a submarine. Like, they've got las guns and stub pistols, sure. But 5 of them, and this, I'm watching from, like, the post-death camera, right? And this husk marine just took them apart. Like, every time he swung, someone was, like, not immediately incapacitated, but there was a clear sound of a limb breaking, and they were down for a while. And he just tore through my submarine, and I was like, okay, right, so this is a problem, because those exist, and they can just be on fucking sunken wrecks. Okay, I remember I did kill one once with great difficulty. Well, I've actually killed 2. First time, I had installed heavy bolter turrets on the bottom of my submarine. That helped, but the problem is, husk marines are so fucking fast that they would close into melee with me as I'm running away, swimming away, before the turrets can kill them. And as for those of you who know about 40k are aware, bolter shells are explosive. So yeah, it would take out the husk marine, but it would take me out at the same time. I wouldn't stand a chance. I'm not even half as durable as that fucking thing is, so I'd get obliterated. Fantastic, love it, great. But eventually I managed to juke the fucker long enough to let the heavy bolters actually take care of him, which was great. And I checked his corpse and there was like nothing on it. Because they're not like looting opportunities, they're just danger. They're just pure, unadulterated, unfiltered danger. Utter danger. Second time, I managed to get one stuck inside of a sub, and I basically plinked him to death with my phosphor serpentia. It took like 3 clips, which is mad, but actually no, it didn't take 3 clips as such. It was because there was 2 husk marines and they were kind of alternating taking hits. The second one eventually figured out that he wasn't stuck anymore and killed me, so that didn't really work out. But I managed to kill one of them with my phosphor serpenta. I love the phosphor serpenta, by the way. It's such an unwieldy weapon to use in Mechanicus because it requires like 2 action points per shot or 2 cognition points per shot, but it's such a nice fucking gun. I love that thing. It's just this big energy revolver that shoots like white phosphorus bullets. Oh, sublime. I love it. So, I should clarify perhaps, because you're probably even seeing 40k gameplay on your screen right now if you're watching. Recently, semi-recently, once again, I want to say in the last month or so, Sweetman messages me out of the fucking blue and it's like, bro, I've started playing Space Marine 2 and this shit is sick. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah. And then over time he was like, oh, I've been learning about 40k lore and this shit's nuts. It's so good. To give you some context, I've been friends with this dude for like 10 years and I've been into 40k the whole time. And I always was like, it would be really cool if he did get into it, but I don't think he will. And now he has been doing that. Now, I don't know if he's still doing that. I guess I'll find out this weekend when I go see him. But the idea that he was actually looking into 40k stuff, because he played Fire Warrior when he was like a kid. I've never played that. So there was always a hope, but I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, my buddy's fucking getting into 40k, and that was very exciting for me. It doesn't matter if he doesn't stay in that, as it were, but the fact that he did it at all was pretty sick, right? The problem was, this all leads to more of my problems, it all spirals into one. The problem was that this reawakened my eagerness and my passion for 40k, my desire to play 40k games and to experience 40k settings. So obviously this led to me downloading the 40k mod for Barotrauma. It also led to me re-downloading and updating my mod for XCOM UFO Defense, the XCOM 40k mod, because that one's sick as well. I got modded Dawn of War 2. Obviously I've been playing Space Marine 2. I'm seriously thinking about, seriously, chin-strokingly, intensely considering playing Rogue Trader again. Because I've played a bit of Rogue Trader, but I've never really gotten through it. I always fall off of it at some point. I'm back in the 40k fucking rabbit hole. Just stuck in there at the moment. Chapter Master as well. Yeah. The fan game. Re-downloaded that as well. The Adeptus Dominus version, or Domina, can't remember, which is a specific version that is actually currently being worked on. Like, it's currently actively being worked on. I thought everyone gave the fuck up on Chapter Master, but no, people are actually currently working on it, which is fucking brilliant. I actually joined their Discord server because I wanted updates on it, because I was like, if this game ever gets to the point where it is genuinely stable, like, it doesn't have to be super finished or even devoid of bugs, it's always going to have bugs, the scale of the game is nuts, but if it ever gets to be stable, that would be a dream come true. Like, I would be unmitigatedly happy. It would be so good. Yeah, that's right, Essie Kitty on Adeptus Dominus on GitHub is literally actively working on Chapter Master. So if you're interested in Chapter Master, go check out that version, because it's actually more stable than any version of Chapter Master I played. That doesn't mean it's stable, but it's more stable, so it's a good fucking start. But yes, that's been my life for the past month, and it's been me just fucking falling into the rabbit hole of 40k stuff, and more specifically, most frequently, the rabbit hole of Barotrauma 40k. Barotrauma 40k has stolen so many hours from me. Let me just have a look at Barotrauma real quick. I'm now up to 229.3 hours playtime. I was not there before and recently. It's shot the fuck up because that mod is insanely good. It is so fun. The skill trees are insane. The ways you can specialize your characters and the different classes. Like, you'd be a guardsman, a skitari, a magos, a tech priest. Your standard captain is a rogue trader who has a shit ton of specializations they can go into. You've got chaos shit. You can go and lean into chaos if you want to. All the submarines are completely remade, redone. They are all custom made for this mod, obviously using the in-game submarine editor, and I'm guessing, and some unique assets as well, some outside assets, because these ships do look Imperium, right? They're not just Barotrauma subs. They look like Imperium vessels, and indeed, they're based on like the Gladius, the Sword, the Cobra, shit like that. They're based on real Imperium vessels in 40k, which is super good. It's just they're submarines instead of spaceships. But it's insanely good. I've been having such a time with it. Also, moments of monumental frustration, because boy, the mod is mean. Now, submarines, the Barotrauma 40k submarines, are a lot more powerful than your standard submarines. My current submarine, which is a Defiant light cruiser, which is a tier 2 attack vessel, but it cost me 60 grand or 50 grand, I can't remember which. It cost me a lot, but I had 142 grand on me because I've been doing jobs like a motherfucker. And also there are a lot of skills in people's like skill trees that improve the amount of money you make from jobs and shit. So you have a lot of capacity to increase the amount of money you make. things can also get quite expensive, but I'm gonna like humble brag about my brilliant overhead cost management in just a bit. My Defiant light cruiser has 11 guns on it. 11 guns. Let me give you some context by saying, if you've been watching the Barotrauma series I've been doing with my crew, Big Daz has 3 guns, and Theseus also had 3 guns. My Defiant light cruiser has 11. Including, I think, 2 heavy lances, a collection of las cannons, and some hellgun turret emplacements as well. You'll notice those are all lasers, and this is because I am a fucking scrimping financial genius who will definitely not regret these decisions when something beefier shows up. No, definitely not. Shush, shush, shush. You see, hellguns, las cannons, and lance towers all use power cells. Obviously, they use battery cells. Not literally battery cells, but they have their own unique power cells, right? And these are stored on, like, ammunition shelves like normal. They're crates, basically. You know, like your standard ammunition crates. Just to give you some context. But most ships, in fact, maybe all ships, I'm not sure, I haven't checked each one individually, but most ships in Barotrauma 40k come with a cannon charging station, or recharging station. And what you do is you take the empty fucking cell out of the gun, put in a fresh one, then you take that dead cell, I might play that at some point, actually, I really want to play Dead Cells. Or Dead Cell, whatever it's called. You take that empty cell, you bring it to a cannon charging station, and it charges it for you. So you don't have to spend money or resources on ammo. You just keep recharging them. And as long as you make sure you have enough cells, you can infinitely replace ammo and charge the old ammo and keep a cycle going regardless how much active conflict you are in when traveling through an area. And if you're really paranoid about it, you can just make sure all your cells are charged when you go a dock before you leave. But frankly, in my experience, you, as the captain, because if you're playing solo, you would be the captain, don't have to bother with that shit. You do not have to bother with that at all. You can get your people to do it. All you need to do is instruct them to charge battery cells, and they will take care of it for you. Because the gunners, who are operating the turret, will reload the gun on their own if they run out. And whoever's been assigned to charge battery cells will take those dead cells and put them in the charging station as part of their duties, so that all just continues to run. Now, if things get too hot, as it were, if you're in too much active combat and, you know, you're taking too much damage, and, like, for example, there's not enough space on the fucking submarine for me to have someone who is entirely dedicated to just charging battery cells. I usually assign it to one of my engineers, like, hey man, when you're not fixing leaks or repairing devices, can you just fucking chuck this cell in the charging station, right? If things get too hot for too long, they aren't charging them because they're too fucking busy, right? Like patching hull damage and repairing shit. Which means after extensive engagements, you can get to the point where your gunners are just like, we don't have any ammo, all of us fucking battery cells are dead. This is a problem, and you're like, wow, that is a problem. I would love to help, but I'm currently piloting to save our lives right now, and I can't really do anything about it. Obviously, this is the problem with playing solo. Because if I was playing with my crew, I could at least be like, hey, when you're on your way to your next repair job, just sling one of those fucking cells into the charging station. Just do it quickly. We need, you know, firepower to keep the fucking gribblies off us, right? But it's a great system that really keeps my overhead costs down, because I don't have to buy ammo, and I don't have to spend resources recycling my ammo crates. And that's what I like about Barotrauma. That's the problem, is that Barotrauma, especially the 40k mod, is accidentally... It feels accidental, even though it isn't. The game is genuinely just well made and well designed. But it accidentally feels like my ideal video game, right? For those of you who have been here for a while, you know I like management games. You know I like management, and I like strategy too. I like organizing shit, managing situations, managing crises, you know what I mean? Like, obviously there was Lob Corp, there was Frostpunk, and there's a bunch of others that I can't think of right now, but like XCOM, for instance, has management elements, Xenonauts 2 has management elements, and Xenonauts 1. Void War. You should play Void War if you like 40k and FTL. That's actually a really good game, but I digress. Point is, I like management games, right? And Barotrauma does have a lot of management, in the sense that you are essentially managing a submarine-based mercenary company, really. And I also like mercenary company games, as I've talked about before as well. But That is essentially what you're doing. You're traveling through Europa and you're having to manage your costs, manage your resources, look at jobs, think if they're feasible for you to do with what you've got, weighing up risk versus reward, you know, and you're traveling through these areas, you see an SOS, is that worth the risk? Do we have time? We've been here for a while, something worse might show up if we hang about. But on the other hand, could we do with more resources? Could we do with things to break down and stuff? So there's a lot of management elements, but it's also a management game where I get to lead from the front. It's a management game where I get to be involved, where I get to get stuck in. It's not me just sitting up on high, way above everything and just telling everyone what to do. I get to tell people what to do, then I get to get out of the submarine as myself, as my own character with my own equipment and stats and skills, unlockable skills and shit, and go explore that submarine, or go repair that beacon station. Or even when I'm not doing any of that stuff, well, I'm piloting the submarine, and then, you know, we dock at a station, and yes, frankly, I think if you had all of the buying and selling and just general dock services relegated to a menu rather than having you run around, that would be a lot more efficient and a lot quicker. But the fact that it doesn't means that for lack of a better term, I can't think of any other way to put it, the immersion of Barotrauma is never broken, right? Because no matter what you're doing in Barotrauma, no matter what your role is, no matter what you need to do on that submarine, it is always from the control of your character. You never become something bigger. You never leave your character's body unless you're playing single player with AIs and you can take control of AIs, but like, I just see that as an advanced form of giving them orders, frankly. I usually go handle most things by myself, but I control one of them from like, look, fix that fucking thing, stop staring at it and fix it. But that immersion, that control, that position that of which you play and of which you control is never broken. You are controlling the turrets on the submarine as your character controlling the turret on the submarine. You are piloting the submarine as your character at the navigation terminal, moving the fucking line around to move the submarine around. That connection is only broken when you die, for obvious reasons, because you can't do anything when you're dead, you know. Everything about Barotrauma is this combination of my absolute love for management in that it's not too ridiculous, but there's enough that you need to consider to keep you engaged. But there's also plenty of go in and do it yourself gameplay, which keeps me from getting bored or keeps me from feeling too disconnected from what's happening, you know? When my all-powerful on-high perspective of a management game gets a little too on-high and a little too all-powerful, I start to fall out of it because I don't feel like I'm in it anymore. But in Barotrauma, I'm always in it. I'm always involved. Even if I am just sat at my fucking terminal piloting the sub all day, I am always involved. I am always there. More importantly, I think, to help reinforce this this feeling, I'm always at risk. I can always die. I am always excessively vulnerable. And it's funny because, like, in the Barotrauma series, in both Theseus and Big Daz, I am in extremely vulnerable positions. In Theseus, my terminal is right above the reactor. If that goes critical, so do I. In Big Daz, well, I have a window looking out of my fucking cabin, and that's great, but, you know, you stare at the abyss, and the abyss is like, hey, can I crash at your house? And it smashes in through your window and bites you. So there's that. But, like, of course, when I'm playing Barotrauma 40k on my own, I'm going into wrecks and fucking beacon stations and shit, so I'm always at risk. I'm always out there fighting shit, but you see, Barotrauma 40k does another thing that is one of my favorite things, and that's augmentations. I love augmentations in fiction and in games. I love Cyberpunk 2077 because I love slapping on a million fucking augmentations and becoming an actual time-stopping samurai in the future. That shit's sick. I've been telling myself how much I want to do another Cyberpunk playthrough, but this time not use katanas, and I don't know if I'll be able to commit because I love the melee combat in Cyberpunk when you actually get it going. It could be better, don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but that shit's sick. But yeah, in Barotrauma 40k, as a rogue captain, I also have the ability to become kind of like a tech acolyte for the Mechanicus. Basically becoming an honorary member, which allows me to use their gear. and use all of their shit, including electus and augmentations. So my current rogue trader on my solo playthrough has like a fucking adamantium reinforced skeleton and a fucking not, I don't know if it's a mechadendrite, but like a servo arm. He has a servo arm with a macro stubber on his back that can fire completely independently of me. I just need to press R and it will start firing at any nearby hostile target, right? I've got something that allows me to regenerate passively, something that allows me to slow down bleeding and heal from bleeding wounds and blood loss quicker. I've got adamantium arms and legs so that they never break, because 40k, Barotrauma 40k introduces fractures, which means your limbs can be damaged and sometimes even lost. But mine are fucking made of adamantium, so my body will rot away 5,000 years from now, but my fucking hands and feet will still be there. Wherever the fuck my body fell. Fucking implanted, like, targeting systems, cranial enhancers. I've got tons of shit. And then I was exploring a submarine wreck, because you will probably end up doing that quite a lot, although eventually you'll be like me and you'll learn to just ignore some of those sometimes, because you're like, look, if I explore every single SOS, I'm never gonna get anywhere. But one time what I'm actually about to say is precisely why you should explore all of them. I explored a submarine once and I found 2 ghost swords, which might mean nothing, but what they are, I equipped them and looked at them, they are Eldari swords. Like, I'm pretty sure used by Howling Banshees. They're literally Eldari swords. I have 2 of them. And you know what? With all of my fucking Tech Priest, with all my Tech Priest upgrades and general physical capability, when I see a Mud Raptor now, I just pull out 2 Eldari swords and go at him. And you know what? They drop in like 3 hits. Now, an armored Mud Raptor or a Mud Raptor hybrid is a different fucking story, but a normal Mud Raptor, yeah, carve them up. Get fucked. And it's interesting because I feel like Barotrauma 40k highlights something which I feel like normal Barotrauma does anyway. This just leans into it a bit harder. But it does this situation where it's like, you know what? If you can get the drop on a human opponent, right? Melee is actually insanely effective. Like, if you can fucking just get in before they really have a chance to shoot, you are a supreme advantage and you can drop them really easily. The local fauna, no. Shoot them. Do not get in close. Do not get in close. Because what the game has done, and what the mod has done even, and I'd say this, in terms of a good thing or a bad thing, could go one way or the other, but it's leaned in more heavily on the idea of stuns. So stun is now something that can simultaneously build up and is also a flat, like, application of a stat, as it were. Let me put it to you this way. If you're clearing out a derelict station and there's a Mud Raptor, right, and that Mud Raptor charges at you and fucking lunges at you and hits you and knocks you down, you don't get straight back up. You lay there for a while because you've been absolutely fucking clattered, at which point the Mud Raptor proceeds to bite you to death because you actually physically can't defend yourself. Now, there's a shit ton of armor options, skill upgrades, and a variety of other things in 40k Barotrauma that allows you to increase your stun resistance, right? Generally just protecting you from damage and the impact of hits. So that fucking Mud Raptor hits you, knocks you down, and you fucking bounce back up and start fighting back, right? But as a baseline human, as a standard, untrained, unequipped, or maybe unarmored, you know, you'd still have a gun or something or whatever, but as a fairly regular human being, one-on-one with a Mud Raptor, if that thing gets into melee, you're dead. Which I think is appropriate, actually, because I can't imagine a universe where I could take a Mud Raptor if I was not augmented in some fashion, or, you know, just generally improved. Mud Raptors, like, think about it, are at least the size of a human. And they're raptors. Now, it is remarkably frustrating to just get stun locked to death. It is really fucking annoying. I'm not going to pretend it isn't. But even as the blood vessels popped out of my skull and I grinded my teeth into sand, I would sit there and go, it does make sense. Like, I'm not sat there going, that's bullshit, none of that makes any sense. I'm like, no, that's logical, right? It is. It's just really pissing me off. But then again, well, that's kind of summarizes the mod pretty well, actually, in that you know, the whole fucking theme behind 40k is that it's wildly unfair and that life is cheap. And the mod does lean into that a bit as well, where it's like, yeah, these things can kill you really fucking easy. Like, easier than baseline Barotrauma if you're not careful and if you're not ready. You need to be ready. Whether being ready means having a million upgrades or making sure you go in as a team and you coordinate. You need to be ready. You have to be prepared. You can't fuck around or you will die. And one of my favorite things about being a rogue trader going down the Inquisitor fucking skill tree is that at the end of it, I can get immunity to Chaos Corruption, which is a thing, and Husk Infections. I am immune to Husk Infections. Do you realize how much that has freed me? During my explorations, I no longer have to fear a husk for its ability to give me a long-term status effect that will kill me and turn me against my crew. Instead, I just have to fear them doing damage to me, which is absolutely a risk, you know, getting fucking bit and shit like that. But I have 2 Eldari swords. I'll just carve them up. It works. That's the thing though, the mod makes you so much more powerful, but it makes up for that. On the one hand, it gives you life-saving medication, but on the other hand, it takes half the blood out of your body. Not literally, it's a hyperbolous fucking metaphor. My point is that it gives you more, and then it throws more at you, right? Even in the early game, Hellgun sub-turrets, which are like the weakest turrets in the 40k mod, scythe through crawlers, absolutely scythe through them. And mud raptors, actually, standard mud raptors, cuts through them. It's not close. Super fucking quick and easy. And like I said, they're infinitely refillable. They'll absolutely destroy them. However, crawlers and mud raptors are so aggressively not the only things you're going to be facing, even in the early game. Second of all, they will show up in larger numbers. And if a mud raptor gets onto your ship, yeah, you have better guns and shit, but your crew might not. Like, what's gonna happen when your engineer has to go up against a mud raptor? Gonna fucking die is what's gonna happen. But my point, yeah, there's significantly more of them. There will be more dangerous things than them. There are more dangerous versions of them. And I'm not being funny, but by the end of the Cold Caverns, you can be finding Molochs, Coalanths. I'm pretty sure you can encounter Endworms as well, which by extension I think would mean you can encounter Latchers as well. The game gives you a lot more to play with, but it does demand that you make sure you're ready to use them. And if you're not ready to use them, or if you've not, you know, you just haven't gotten the resources together and not gotten the money together or whatever to upgrade your shit, then you might have to play in the kiddie pool for a while. I've not found myself needing to grind in that mod, basically. I've not found it something I've needed to do. But it's definitely an option, and it's definitely something worth considering, right? The Mechanicus have really good stuff, but it's pretty expensive. You might want to butter them up for a bit. I don't know, like you can be an obsessive grind horse about it, or you can just fucking go. Just like normal Barotrauma. That's the thing, I can praise this mod until the cows come home, but at the end of the day, it's because Barotrauma itself is such a weird, fun, and engaging experience. I said it in a recording that hasn't come out yet. Yeah, I remember I said, this game is shit, why is it so good? And that's Barotrauma. The game kinda sucks, but it's incredible. It's so good. It's so well made. Everything just works. It is as well made as it is janky. It's shocking. And the mod just leans into this. I have to give the mod author for the Barotrauma 40k mod extreme credit because they've leaned into the correct things about Barotrauma, absolutely, and melded it with 40k exceptionally well. Now, of course, it's not perfect, you know, it's not the most stable mod in the world. I've never encountered any actually, I've encountered some noticeable problems. For instance, if you do, after this video, decide to try and go get the Barotrauma 40k mod for yourself, if you ever get a mission saying, clear, fucking mud raptors or whatever out of a dry cave, don't take it. Those missions are not properly designed. Like, eggs can show up in places you can't get to. You can also get into places where you are just stuck. Now, there are solutions, but it's clear that you're not supposed to be getting stuck. Like, they're poorly designed. Ignore them. Skip them. 100% skip them. Other than that, as far as I can tell, most of the game most of the mod is pretty fucking lickety-split clean. Log errors come up quite a lot, but I've never found them to interfere with or damage or affect gameplay in any real way. It's just that the error log comes up and you just fucking press escape to get rid of it. The mod's not perfect, but it's damn fucking good, and that has been eating an aggressive amount of my time recently. Like an aggressive amount of my time, like a concerning amount of my time. I've been going to bed at like 3 a.m. every morning because I've just been, when I finished my work for the day, I've just been playing the fuck out of it. Can't stop. I managed to break it, or break the streak ever so slightly, I think earlier today, or maybe yesterday, by playing XCOM 40k for a little while, which kind of helped to break the spell a little bit, but I'd be shocked if I wasn't back on there pretty fucking soon, frankly. But yeah, that's been crushing my life, because of course Barotrauma is a long-form game, so, you know, it's kind of hard to put it down. Like, our recording sessions go on for any time between 8 and 11 hours. Legit, those recording sessions are between 8 and 11 hours, to the point where after the batch of footage you guys have seen, like as of the last episode, we all in the Discord chat were like, okay, we need to do this differently. We're now limiting these recordings to 8-hour sessions roughly, and we are having a mandatory break halfway through. Like, we have to step away from the computer because we were just sitting here slugging it for like 11 hours. I don't know how I managed it. I just did. I don't know how they managed it. They just did. We just did. It was just the big Daz had to be piloted through the abyss. We have so many things to do. We need more materials. We have to shoot the separatists. We need to get to places. Oh no, there's a latcher, etc., etc. I guess this Foreman Talks is about Barotrauma and Barotrauma 40k. I don't know. But that has been taking up the lion's share of my free time recently. Because it's really fucking good. But I think we can call it for today, lads. I'd love to keep talking about it, but 45 minutes? Well, it'll be less than that because of the pre-recording noise profile capture, but this seems enough, I think, for a Foreman Talks. And plus, what am I going to say now other than, yeah, it's so good, I love it, oh, I love it. I'd recommend you check it out if you have Barotrauma. Be prepared to relearn some shit. The fucking crafting is mad. There's a shit ton of stuff in the crafting menus. Many things you can make. Things you might not have expected you'd be able to make, you can make. But if you are going to get that mod, I have one piece of advice for you. One piece of advice for you that is very basic and doesn't really give away too much, and honestly doesn't seem like that decent advice, but I would say this is pretty important. Early as you can, get a las gun. Even if it's just one, get at least one las gun and 2 las gun power cells. And then you will always have a gun. It might not be the best gun. If a fucking armored mud raptor or 3 come barreling at you, you are fucked. But that would be the case. That would be the case with most guns. You would still be fucked. Like, that wouldn't really help much. But 1 las gun, 2 power cells, and you will always have a gun. You will always have a gun that will always have ammo. And that, in of itself, is a massive boon. Once again, the las gun continues to be in the fucking S tier of sci-fi weaponry for its sheer ruggedness, reliability, lack of recoil, rate of fire, accuracy, and general charm. Fucking love the las gun so much. Don't get the las carbine, it's shit. Just get the las gun. And then work on your fucking crafting skills and get yourself a masterworked fucking las gun so that your infinitely refillable gun can do as much damage as possible. And you know what? If you're playing with your mates, why not choose to be a guardsman and then get multiple perks that allow you to improve the damage of your las gun so that your infinitely refillable gun is doing as much damage and armor piercing as possible. I need to stop. I need to stop. Get a las gun. Play the mod. Play the mod, get a las gun, or get a las gun and play the mod. I don't fucking care which order, just do it. But friends, that's all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. Fucking love that mod, goddamn. Special thanks to our members and patrons, AKFD1M40, Fladen, Uvlaka, A, Anarchy, RZ22, Cosmo, Catty Madness, Booba2935, Catra Stahl, Red High, Spectrum, The Lord of Moth, Kim Percy, Ego, Franklin Merlo, Engie DePooch, The KV2 Menacing, Boyby Bay, Red Star, Kim Takeo, Elkavia Calf, Hotraman, Christopher Who's, Donut, Honor D, Age of Chaos, Geigen, Cali, Prince of Lemons, Moon God Megan, Volwolf, Miscreant, Rakariku, Crescent, Tony the Horse, Lilac, Sire, Abyssalangi, Princeps, Giacomu, Superstitics, Vihart, Mighty PH, Enza Sora, Anthelian, Gage Johnson, Saga, Rory, Jack, Ninja, Gamer Fox, Grand Captain General Peace, Meanbag, Turtle, Cuds, Canis Mario, Portrait Black Life, Still One Clever Name, Summer Cat Flanny, Benji Goon, Proxy, Caminero, Moa, Harry, Trader, So Slow, Etherbill, and Kizzy, Onsin have been brought out here, Honeydew, Sweet Baby Red, Just Sony Pie, Trim Ghost, Apollo by K by Magical, Frostbite, and SB16A. Haha! For support me on YouTube and on Patreon. Thank you so much, guys, and thank you all so much for watching. Just like I need more Project Moon mods in my life, because I just want to play more games with like Project Moon slapped on it, I also need more 40k mods in my life. And there are plenty of 40k mods out there for what it's worth, but I need more games with 40k slapped on it, right? Specifically what I need is Xenonauts 2 with a proper 40k mod on it. Because XCOM 40k, which is XCOM UFO Defense with a 40k mod, is really good, and the authors of that mod should be damn fucking proud of themselves because it is genuinely high quality. But imagine Xenonauts 2 with how clean that game is with fucking 40k mods on it. Oh, my soul. Couldn't take it, couldn't handle it. But yeah, I just need more games with those mods on them. What are your favorite kinds of mods for games? Huh? What do you play? Or more to the point, what you sat there thinking to yourself like, man, I just need this like fucking franchise or game or movie or whatever, fictional universe, what have you. I just need this modded into everything. I just want to see it in everything. Because like I said, for me, it's Project Moon and 40k. I desperately tried to find in Stars and Time mods for everything shortly after I beat that, but all I found was that there used to be an In Stars and Time mod for Slay the Spire, but it then got taken down or something. Or I don't think it got taken down, I think the author removed it, which was a fucking shame because I'd have loved to have played that as Sifrin. I think it would have been a great time. But yeah, what themed mods are you way into? Because, for instance, XCOM 2 with the 40k mods in it, or the Star Wars mods in it. Actually, XCOM 2 with the Star Wars Clone Trooper mods in it is stupendous. It is fucking incredible. But the 40k mods are also really good. But yeah, let me know. But that's all from me for today. Thank you so much for watching. And whatever happens next time, hope I see you there. Doodles. Goodbye.